Now, the Church of Saints Peter and Paul was consecrated in the year 1892, and after 2 years for it to be restored, and now in the year 2016, on the feast of Saints Peter and Paul, which is on the 29th of June, this church will be dedicated again to the saints, Saints Peter and Paul. Many of us in Singapore are not familiar with the architecture that the Catholic Church has, and actually we have such a rich heritage. So joining me today is Fr Ignatius Yeo. He's a specialist in liturgical architecture. Father, the first thing about the facade that catches my eye is the window. And can you explain to us the significance of the window?
The window which you see is actually called a rose window because it looks like a rose with many petals.
Ah, okay.
So it's called a rose window. It comes from a Roman architecture, historically Roman architecture. In historical ancient Roman architecture, in buildings there were always an oculus, which is called the eye. An eye where they allow light to come in, and also this eye is usually found in Roman temples in order to symbolize the eye of God, and how the eye of God, especially during sunrise, the rays comes into the temple, and how therefore God is looking upon His people.
I guess, the most popular scene that many Catholics would be familiar with is the Basilica of St. Peter's in Rome.
That's right.
With the dove.
That's right.
That whole glass window. And then when the sun comes in, it just fills the entire basilica.
One of the ancient Roman temples that had this eye will be the Pantheon.
Ah, okay.
You have a huge hole right at the center of the temple. Right?
Okay.
And so the church applied this rose window on the west door, because that is where the light will come right through from the west door, hitting the main high altar.
This particular facade, we see the two saints, Peter and Paul. Saint Peter on the left, holding the keys on our left, and Saint Paul on the right.
Yes.
The significance in that, Father?
In fact, although Saint Peter is on your left, he's on the right of the Lord.
Ah.
Okay? And the right hand of God always symbolizes power. Peter was the prime of all apostles, and so he sits at the right hand of Christ, governing his church. And so you see Peter is actually on the right of the Lord, and St. Paul. Why Peter and Paul? Why these two apostles and not other apostles? Peter is the first of the apostles, the Jewish apostles.
Right.
Paul is the first of the apostles to the Gentiles.
And interesting that St. Peter is holding two keys.
Yes.
And that symbolizes his authority that Jesus gave to him.
Over heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Whatever you bind on earth is considered bound
in heaven.
And so therefore he has the two keys.
But I notice the statue of Saint Paul. He's holding a Bible or a book,
yes,
symbolizing, of course, the Word of God,
yes,
and the sword.
That's right. In fact, you look at the statue above, he's holding a scroll, which is actually much more correct to ancient tradition.
Right.
They were written on parchments, and so he's holding a scroll, and it symbolizes the epistles which he has written. The statue below, which is repeated, he's holding a book.
Okay.
It also symbolizes the epistles that Paul wrote. But why is he holding the sword? It's not because he was a persecutor, but if you read the letter of Paul, it says the word of God must cut your soul like a double-edged sword.
Right.
And so he's holding that double-edged sword.
Right.
Which is a Roman sword. Yeah.